Hello friends, and welcome to the studio. Today we're going to do a project inspired by this book I have, Animal Parade, An Adventure in Collage by artist Clare Youngs. She made all the animals you see on the cover. She made painted and decorated papers, and then she cut them out into pieces and glued them down onto cardboard shapes and put them all together into these animals. And the animals actually have parts of their body that can move. See right here? These two legs have little paper pegs so that the legs can move and the tiger can run and jump. And I'm going to show you how we can do that right now. You'll need to gather the supplies that you see here on the table. You'll need something to draw with and erase with. You'll need scissors and a hole punch. You'll need something to draw on. Thick paper, like we use at school for painting, is best. But you can also draw directly on a piece of thin cardboard, or you can draw on a piece of plain copy paper and then glue it down onto the cardboard to make it thicker and sturdier. You can color with crayons or colored pencils, and you can use Sharpie. First thing you want to do is draw your animal and figure out how to make it into shapes. I had a really great book when I was little by an artist named Ed Emberley, and he taught me to draw animals using simple shapes. Like to start a bird with a circle, and then draw a second circle for the head, draw more circles and dots for the eyes. You can make a tail by drawing a triangle, making a fat tail. And you can make a beak by drawing another triangle or a bent line. Two straight lines can be legs, and a backwards number 3 can be a wing. Now I don't want to make all these shapes for my bird. I want to do something simpler. I want to make the tail and the body and the head all one shape. And I can do that just by joining my shapes together with an outline. And I don't think I like the way the tail looks right now. How can I change that? Maybe I can do this instead. See how I'm drawing my lines darker to help me see what I want? There we go. Now this I can cut out and save as a template or a tracer. This is not going to become my bird. I'm going to use this to make my bird later. See that bird shape? And I want the wings to move, which means I need to draw them separately. So if I draw that backwards 3 again, now I need to turn it into a shape that I can cut out. I can keep this going. And now it looks like a heart. It's kind of small though. I think I'm going to draw it longer like that. And then cut that out as my wing for later. So the next thing you want to do is make some colorful paper. You could use colorful paper that you already have at home, like old wrapping paper or an old card, but you can also make your own paper. You can color this white paper with your colored pencils. Color the whole paper. And the reason I have 3 colored pencils is I want to color the paper different colors. If you have crayons, it's the same idea. You color the whole paper. Changing colors and letting them overlap and mix together. I picked colors that are all cousins, purple and blue. You could try any combination of colors. After you've colored the whole paper, then what you can do is draw on top of it with your Sharpie marker, making patterns. Sharpie will go on top of crayon. Sharpie will go on top of colored pencil. It goes on top of colored pencil a little bit better than crayon. And you don't have to make a picture or continue your pattern all the way across the paper. It's more interesting if you make different patterns, just changing your shapes and lines whenever you want to. Think of all your math shapes: squares, circles, triangles. This might be something you want to do a little at a time until your paper is all filled up with patterns, like this one. This was actually a piece of paper that I painted first, but it looks just as good if you use colored pencil or crayon first. And then I put all these different patterns on top of the paper, just changing my mind and starting something different whenever I felt like it. This is the paper I'm going to use for making my bird. So I'm going to turn the paper over so that I get a surprise. And I'm going to take my bird's body and trace around it with my pencil. If you keep your pencil pointing straight up and down, like a flagpole, it probably won't slide as much under the paper like it did. And now I'm going to trace the wing, but I'm going to trace the wing 2 times. And I really like this paper, and I want to use it for other projects. So I'm going to trace my shapes as close to each other as I can, so I have extra paper. The next step would be to cut out my shapes. And this is on the back. So if you don't exactly follow your pencil lines, no one's going to know. I turn my paper when the cutting gets hard to do, and I go at it from a different direction. There's my bird's body. That looks really neat. And now I'm cutting around the wing. And look what I did. I skipped right over to the other bump in the wing because it's easier now for me to go back and cut into that corner from two different directions. And I take that little piece out. There's my wing. Oh, look what happened. My bird is looking the other direction. That's because I put the tracer down face up onto my paper, which is okay because birds look in all directions. But if I wanted this bird to be looking to the right, then I should have flipped over my tracer and traced it on the blank side. There. Now I've got my two wings. So you wanted to decide where the wings should go on the body. I'm going to punch a hole through the wing. Decide. Oh, that looks pretty good. Yeah, right there. So I'm going to draw a circle. And, oh, my hole puncher won't go right to that part. That's okay. It goes pretty close. I'll punch it there. And I want the other wing to match. So I've lined up both wings, put the hole puncher in the hole, punch through the second one. Now I have my two wings, and one wing goes on top and one wing goes underneath. To make the peg to hold the wings together, you can take a regular sheet of paper and cut a strip off of one long side. This is about 1/2 inch wide. And then what you do is you roll the strip over and over on itself, and that makes the peg. Sometimes when you first start rolling, the paper gets a little flat, and that's okay, because once you start rolling more of the paper, it's going to get rounder and rounder and rounder. I roll the whole strip up nice and tight into my peg, and then I see if it's too big. There we go. So will it fit through the hole? No, it's too big. So I'm going to unroll some of it and cut it off and see if it fits. Now it fits. So I put the wing on top of the body and the other wing under the body. This is the coolest part. Oh, I'm so excited. There we go. There we go. So see, the peg of paper unrolls a little bit and stays in place. It'll loosen up. It'll loosen up over time. It's not really a toy. If you play with it too much, it's going to fall apart. But it is really neat to turn. And there's my bird with its moving wings. Now, the part that I left out was eyes and beak. I thought I had one that I finished to show you. I don't see where it is. Well, that's all right. I'll finish this one. So, you still have your Sharpie. And you can use your Sharpie to draw anything that's missing on your bird, like a beak and an eye. And I also have a white pen, which is really nice to use to make that eye stand out a little more, to make that beak stand out a little more. You could do this with a white crayon as well. There's white crayon. There's white crayon. Now I'll put my bird back together again. The paper unrolled and my peg got too big. It's still too big. Okay, wing, body, wing. There we go. And there's my bird. Ready to fly. I made an idea sheet for you. On the sheet is a bird ready to print out and color. Already has patterns on it, so you can just put the color on. There's another bird ready to go without any patterns or color. So you could print this out, color your paper and decorate it, and then cut it out. And I put some reminders of how we made the bird in the beginning. We drew a simple bird and then joined parts of the bird together to make just two pieces that we could cut out and put together. And once you've made a bird, you can make any animal you want. You can make a tiger. You can make a lemur. This book's got all kinds of animals in it. Look, a grasshopper on top of a rhinoceros. Have fun. See you next time.